Hello and welcome. Are you familiar with this book, Divine Mercy in My Soul? The diary that was written by Sister Faustina Kowalska? I plan to read from this book on a regular basis. Considering there are 689 pages, I'll choose what I read each time, but it will always be word for word. This message is for us. Sister Faustina died in 1938, and the diary has only been available to us since 1987. The best way to learn more about this devotion is to contact the Marian Helper Center in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, or their website, www.marian.org. Or there is an app in the App Store. All you need to do is go to Books, search for Divine Mercy, and it'll be right there. And you will see the official Divine Mercy app, which has only been available since January of this year. Notebook 1. O eternal love, you command your sacred image to be painted and reveal to us the inconceivable fount of mercy. You bless whoever approaches your rays, and a soul all black will turn to snow. O sweet Jesus, is it here you establish the throne of your mercy, to bring joy and hope to sinful man? From your open heart, as from a pure fount, flows comfort to a repentant heart and soul. May praise and glory for this image never cease to stream from a man's soul. From man's soul. May praise of God's mercy pour from every heart, now and at every hour, and forever and ever. Oh my God, when I look into the future, I am frightened. But why plunge into the future? Only the present moment is precious to me, as the future may never enter my soul at all. It is no longer in my power to change, correct, or add to the past. For neither sages nor prophets could do that. And so, what the past has embraced, I must entrust to God. O present moment, you belong to me, whole and entire. I desire to use you as best I can. And although I am weak and small, you grant me the grace of your omnipotence. And so, trusting in your mercy, I walk through life like a little child, offering you each day this heart, burning with love for your greater glory. This was written on July 28th, 1934. Oh my Jesus, because of my trust in you, I weave thousands of garlands, and I know that they will all blossom. And I know that they will all blossom when God's sun will shine on them. O great and divine sacrament that veils my God, Jesus, be with me each moment, and no fear will enter my heart. God and souls, be admired, O most holy Trinity, now and for all time. Be adored in all your works and all your creatures. May the greatness of your mercy be admired, and glorified, O God. I am to write down the encounters of my soul with you, O God, at the moments of your special visitations. I am to write about you, O incomprehensible in mercy towards my poor soul. Your holy will is the life of my soul. I have received this order through him who is for me your representative here on earth, who interprets your holy will to me. Jesus, see how difficult it is for me to write, how unable I am to put down clearly what I experience in my soul. Oh God, can a pen write down for which many a time there are no words? But you give me the order to write, oh God, that is enough for me. Entrance into the convent. This was written in 1925. From the age of 7, I experienced the definite call of God, the grace of a vocation to religious life. It was in the 7th year of my life that for the first time I heard God's voice in my soul, that is, an invitation to a more perfect life. But I was not always obedient to the call of grace. I came across no one who would have explained these things for me. The 18th year of my life, an earnest appeal to my parents for permission to enter the convent, but at first my parents refused. The increased call for graces caused me much anguish. I tried, however, to stifle this amusements. Interiorly, I shunned God, turning with all my heart to creatures. However, God's grace won out in my soul. Once I was at a dance with one of my sisters. While everybody was having a good time, my soul was experiencing deep torments. As I began to dance, I suddenly saw Jesus at my side. Jesus, racked with pain, stripped of his clothing, all covered with wounds, who spoke these words to me. How long shall I put up with you, and how long will you keep putting me off? At that moment, the charming music stopped. The company I was with vanished from my sight. There remained Jesus and I. I took a seat by my dear sister, pretending to have a headache in order to cover up what took place in my soul. After a while, I slipped out unnoticed, leaving my sister and all my companions behind, and made my way to the cathedral of St. Stanislav Kostela. It was already beginning to grow light. There were only a few people in the cathedral. Paying no attention to what was happening around me, I fell prostrate before the Blessed Sacrament and begged the Lord to be good enough to give me the understanding of what I should do next. Then I heard these words, "Go to Warsaw and enter a convent there." I rose from prayer, came home, took care of the things that needed to be settled as best as I could. I confided to my sister what took place within my soul. I told her to say goodbye to our parents, and thus, in my one dress, with no other belongings, I arrived at Warsaw. Then I got off the train and saw that all were going their separate ways. I was overcome with fear. What am I to do? To whom shall I turn? As I know no one. So I said to the Mother of God, "Mary, lead me, guide me." Immediately I heard these words within me, telling me to leave the town and to go to a certain nearby village where I would find a safe lodging for the night. I did so and found, in fact, everything was just as Mother of God told me. Very early the next day, I rode back into the city and entered the first church I saw. There I began to pray to know further the will of God. Holy Masses were being celebrated, one after another. During one of them, I heard these words: "Go to that priest and tell him everything. He will tell you what to do next." After Mass, I went to the sacristy. I told the priest all that had been taking place in my soul, and I asked him to advise me where to take the veil, in which religious order. The priest surprised me at first. He told me to have strong confidence that God would provide for my future. For the time being, he said, I shall send you to a pious lady with whom you will stay until you enter a convent. When I called on this lady, she received me very kindly. During the time I stayed with her, I was looking for a convent, but whatever convent door I knocked, I was turned away. Sorrow gripped my heart, and I said to the Lord Jesus, "Help me, don't leave me alone." At last I knocked on the door. When Mother Superior came out to meet me, she told me, after a short conversation, to go to the Lord of the house and ask whether he would accept me. I understood at once that I was to ask this of the Lord Jesus. With great joy, I went to the chapel and asked Jesus, "Lord of this house, do you accept me?" This is how one of these sisters told me to put the question to you. Immediately I heard this voice: "I do accept you. You are in my heart." When I returned to the chapel, Mother Superior asked first of all, "Well, has the Lord accepted you?" I answered yes. If the Lord has accepted you, then I will also accept. This is how I was accepted. However, for many reasons, I still have to remain in the world for more than a year with the pious woman, but I did not go back to my own home. At this time, I had to struggle with many difficulties, but God was lavish with His graces. An ever greater longing for God began to take hold of me. The lady, pious as she was, did not understand the happiness of religious life, and in her kind-heartedness began to make other plans for my future. And yet, I sensed that I had a heart so big that nothing would be capable of filling it, and so I turned with all the longing of my soul to God.